A trauma is when someone has lived through some very distressing circumstances, a very distressing situation, and it's an emotional response to the situation. And when it comes to trauma, people have so many different ways of coping and dealing with their personal trauma. We are never responsible for our trauma. However, we are responsible for our recovery to that trauma. There's many different paths that people take when it comes to dealing with trauma. Narcissistic individuals can also take these paths when it comes to dealing with their trauma. They are still human. They do still suffer from traumas. It does not excuse their behaviour. There are many of people that go through trauma that do not go all out to hurt other people. They go all out to help other people, to make sure other people don't suffer like they have. Narcissistic individuals tend to get a kick out of making other people suffer how they suffered. So when it comes to trauma responses, there are several negative responses that people can lean towards, and narcissistic individuals can lean towards these things also. However, when it comes to narcissistic individuals, they don't want your help. They want your sympathy. They're going to use these things to exploit you, to take full advantage of you, to get their needs met by you. When it comes to somebody who cares about other people, they become trapped in a cycle, and they're trying to help themselves, and they appreciate other people's help and support in helping them work through these issues. Narcissistic individuals just want to help themselves to your stuff. So when it comes to negative responses to trauma, one of the first of these is those substance abuse, be it alcohol, be it drugs. There's usually some sort of addiction whereby the person who's experienced the trauma is trying to numb the pain. However, it's an incredibly unhealthy addiction, because although that numbness gives you the temporary relief, as soon as you're off the alcohol, as soon as you're off the drugs, the pain returns. And the only way to get rid of the pain is to deal with the pain. And many people do not want to hear that. Many people do not want to hear, look for the positive, or look at what you can gain from the situation, or look how you can use it in a method to send you into a better path, because they're trapped in that pain. And people have to be ready to take themselves out of that pain. Narcissistic individuals use the pain to serve themselves, to go into that victim mentality. We can all go in that victim mentality, and then it's about finding our way out. We can go to things such as self-harm, especially when you've suffered from emotional pain. However, any other kind of trauma can also lead to self-harm, where you're going to cause yourself physical harm, physical pain, to feel something, to deal with the emotional stress. You can potentially go towards risky behaviours, sort of sexual habits that can potentially lead to harm, spending money, drugs, speeding in cars, risky sort of behaviours to kind of distract you, but also to give you that intense sort of thrill to a situation. You can go into social isolation. You can start just withdrawing from the world around you, believing that everybody is inherently bad and everybody is just out to hurt other people, and there's nothing good about the world. And this is going to spiral into further depression, further anxiety, and further stress. And it's very, very, very difficult to get yourself out of that situation. However, when you're in that situation, you're in a state of misery, desperation, and despair. So by taking the steps to get up in the morning and start to think of how you can make your day productive, baby steps, quick wins, 5-minute tasks. So if your home is in a complete disaster because you're depressed and you're stressed and you've got the overwhelm of the amount of stuff that you need to do, a quick win. Sort out one drawer that takes you 5 minutes. That might get you motivated to do the next one and the next one. Don't empty everything out at once because that will overwhelm you all the more. Emotional outbursts is another one, when you can't seem to hold it together anymore, because sometimes the person who is being emotionally abused is the one who becomes emotionally reactive because you can't deal with your emotions in a positive way. So you begin to explode and have those emotional outbursts. This is different from a narcissist's unpredictable mood swings. You can all live with somebody who you know for well likes something being done in a certain way, and if it's not done in that certain way, it's going to agitate them, it's going to frustrate them, and there's no malicious intent in it. You might do it actually to wind them up sometimes, but not to be hurtful, just to have a bit of banter and then come together and discuss and deal. Whereas with a narcissistic individual, it's those unpredictable mood swings where you just do not know where you stand with them. Avoidance, complete avoidance, running away from the pain, running away from the trauma. Overworking, which can potentially, if you do it in the right way, actually help because you get driven and focused into the work. You just have to deal with the trauma also. And fawning, beginning to people please out of fear of reaction. Narcissistic people tend to fawn in a manipulative way. They people please to sell people an illusion of who they are or who they could potentially be, to exploit people, to get their needs met by people. And then once they've got people where they want them, they reveal their true colours. Whereas a genuine person who people pleases does it out of fear. So they continue to try and change themselves to please the other person so that they don't get hurt within themselves. So when it comes to dealing with your trauma, one of the first things you need to do is recognise your behaviour, recognise the trauma. You have to take responsibility for your behaviour, not the trauma, your behaviour. And then you have to learn to respond in a healthy manner. Finding a therapy, the right therapy for you, from counselling to EMDR treatment, finding the right therapy for you, finding the right support network for you, becoming more mindful of how you are thinking, how you are talking to yourself, finding the little things in life that you can be grateful for, because then it's very difficult to feel negative and go, once you get that negative feeling or thought, once you get that negative thought, you can go into the slippery slope of the negative feelings and the more negative thoughts to match, and it spirals. So you have to say, I know I want to think about this, but I'm going to, what can I be grateful for? And start thinking about the positive aspects of life that bring you the joy. Find anything and everything you can to give yourself that self-help, be it exercise, be it doing meditation or yoga, eating right, learning to get a better sleep pattern so that you can be at your best. Lots of self-care and self-help. Phone any supportive hotlines for any advice. Get creative with whatever it is that you enjoy doing, whatever creative spark you have. It doesn't necessarily have to be music or painting or sport, or it's finding whatever creativity you have within yourself, and remembering that when you first start at something, you're more than likely not going to be overly great at it, even if you have a natural talent, a natural ability, and it's learning through the process of doing it. Set those sleep patterns. So if you're finding it difficult to go to sleep, when it comes to waking up, find a reason to get out of bed, whether it's doing that yoga, doing that meditation, going for that run, cleaning out that drawer. Find a reason to drag yourself out of bed in the morning, and then find things to do so that you're more tired in an evening to be able to rest. Get positively addicted to something. Find something that's a positive addiction, so you can't wait to get out of bed in the morning to do what you're enjoying. And then those rewards, when you've done a week, a day, a month, find something to positively reward yourself so that you can see how far you've come and not how far you've got to go. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, any toxic habits you noticed, or any self-help tips, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have a couple of books out on Amazon, 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People If You Cannot Go No Contact, and a Narcissists Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you'd like to go and check those out, they'll be in the description also. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.